Okay, we are live.
Let me just.
There, the sound is working.
Okay.
Sharing that. There we go.
Who did you share the link with now?
There we go.
Who did you share the link with now?
There we go.
There we go. He's on 2 lives.
I'm going to email.
I've got it here on. Let me just see.
I've got it here on.
Okay.
If you can share
now.
it.
Let me just share it.
It was working.
Oh, yeah.
The mic fell.
Maybe lost sound.
Where did the mic fall on the floor? Oh, okay. But before that, it wasn't bad.
Enthusiasm and passion and
What's up, Nasa?
world needs to hear the
Yeah.
intro.
Yeah, no, I mean, that sounds.
So welcome, Tina. Thank you, Cindy, for having me back.
Oh, that is very clear.
Yeah.
Okay, Debbie, your mom is back.
Sounds much better. Thanks for your patience, guys.
Thank you. We are back. Thank you very much. Technical difficulties. Should we start again or do we just continue?
I'm just copying the link now. I just want to share the link and we will be with you in 2 seconds. Okay. We are here. We are back. Thank you for your patience.
All right. Let me just start off by saying why I wanted to start off a live chat. So one of the things that I always say when I go live on a Friday evening with my YouTube videos is I'm going live at 5. But then it feels like it's not actually live.
Yes.
It's not actually live. It's a recorded video, and so I felt like I needed to bring in something that's live. And there are so many women and people that I admire. And Tina, you are one of those people. I messaged you, I think about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, to say I admire your brand and what you're saying and the message that you're bringing across. So this is why I have Tina on my couch in my lounge, and we wanted. I need the world to hear what Tina is saying. So you were speaking about the fact that out of a room of facilitators, you stood out because you keep it real. And that's what I like about you. No matter what you're saying, it's like, as a South African colored woman or a mixed race woman for our offshore viewers, when you speak, you're not pretentious and trying to, be all prim and proper. You are speaking from the heart, and you're keeping it real. And it's lekker to listen to someone like you because you can feel comfortable. So yeah, over to you. What you were saying about the group of facilitators?
Yeah. A lot of times, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with qualifications. I also have a qualification, but sometimes when you hear everything that everyone else has done, you automatically sometimes just diminish who you are or what you have because of where you come from. And as I sat in this room hearing everything that everybody done, I was like, no way in my life did I come anywhere close to doing those things. But as you said, at the end of the day, when someone had to choose who they wanted to work with or associate with, they chose the person who had the least amount of qualifications. The person who on paper doesn't necessarily fit the picture of what it is that the world tells us to be. So for me, when it comes to who am I and who you need to be is just be you. And if you say liquor, or if you say quiet, or if you say no, I'd rather not do that, then just simply be you. Because why? It's so, for me, it's so tiring to have to remember who I was in room A and room B. And I'm like, oh my word, what hat was I wearing here? What hat was I wearing there?
Yeah.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I'm getting much older.
Yeah.
So looking good, but I'm getting much older, and it's like I just don't have the time or the energy to have to be anything else other than authentically who I was designed to be.
I love that, because in our caption on our poster, I said we're walking in purpose, and you can't be your authentic self if you're not walking in purpose,
Yes.
right? So you need to be true to who you are, because otherwise the children are going to say, who is this?
Yes.
Who's this woman? Or
Yes.
your husband's going to say, she doesn't talk like that at home. So it's important for us to be authentic and to be
100%,
real,
yes.
100% real. So I just want to give a shout out to those who are in the room. Thank you very much, Debbie Demis. The sound is much better. Thank you so much for the feedback. Charlene Marinas from Marinas Media. Hey.
All the way offshore, and they still tuning in. No?
Thank you. Awesome. Bonita Engelbrecht, she is here, still excited. Thank you, Bonita. And Lady C, thank you so much for being here.
Always.
Always. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a few rapid questions just to get warmed up.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go. You need to answer it as fast as possible.
Okay.
Okay. Pizza or burgers?
Pizza.
Swimming pool or beach?
Oof. Yo, both. But if I had to choose, the beach.
Okay. Summer or winter?
Summer all the day.
Okay. I was going to say soup or salad.
Salad.
Okay, wonderful. And then series or movies?
I used to be a movie girl. That sounds weird. I never acted in a movie, but I used to like watching movies, and I still do, but I love series. So this is going to sound corny and boring, but the thing my husband and I do on a Friday night, I sound older, we like to catch up on our series. So because he's sitting here, I'm going to have to say series.
Okay,
series.
wonderful.
Series with Craig.
Brownie points there.
Almost.
Okay, so my next question is, you come across as a strong, confident woman.
Yeah.
Have you always been like this?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Tell us more.
I was definitely not. I was always loud. I was always outspoken, but I was never a confident person. I was very insecure. I had low self-esteem. I'll give you an example, and just know when I speak about my mommy, me and my mommy are cool now. But my mommy had me when she was 18 years old, so very young. And she used to describe me as the best mistake she has ever made. Okay. So which word do you think I remembered? Mistake. So what I then internalized, I said, okay, for me not to be a mistake, I now need to do everything opposite of being a mistake. So I decided I'm going to be perfect. So in everything that I done, there had to be the best, there had to be the highest marks, there had to be the standout. And that was very exhausting, because at the end of the day, you realize nobody's perfect.
Absolutely.
So I'm striving for this thing that someone is actually never going to achieve.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, whether I was perfect or not perfect, someone was going to say something, some negative thing was going to happen. But I got to the point and I had to say, look here, my mom was young. She meant it in this way. It wasn't a reflection of who I was. And I was like, no, man. Because look here, guys, man, who I am.
Hello.
I'm joking. But it took a lot of years. I remember, I'll give a perfect example. Craig and I started dating, and we were watching a movie. And on the movie was this fair girl with blonde hair. And it was like a horror movie. It wasn't even a sad rom-com. And I burst out crying. I was like, what's going on? And the reason I was crying was because I did not look like this person. And I was like, what is wrong with me? I used to try and wipe the freckles off my face because people used to make fun of my freckles. And then you get older. Hopefully this should happen for you when you are younger. You just go like, no, man, this is who I am.
Yes.
And you know what people are doing now? Tattooing freckles on their face.
Yes. I have a friend that did that. Actually, she didn't have a mole, so she put one on.
Mine was free.
Wonderful.
So to answer your question, no, I wasn't always like that. Baie lang antwoord, but anyway.
Thank you for the honesty. I love it. I love it. We have Miss Kennethia Jackson in the house.
Hello, Kenny.
Hi, Kenny. Hope you're feeling better.
Yes.
Okay, so you represent Cupido Consulting.
Yes.
Tell us more about Cupido Consulting. What is it? What do you do? Yeah, all about that.
So Cupido Consulting, we are a training and development organization or company. And our main goal, our slogan or our theme or whatever, we always say we try to take people from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. So everything that we do, we have these 4 pillars, but the continuous thread through these 4 pillars is this thing about mindset.
Okay.
So our goal is to take people or to show them where they are, and this is how they are stuck. And then they are able to move forward if they just do certain things. And that can be, so for example, our first pillar is called the thinking game. So that is all about our mind. That is all about the things that happened to us when we were younger. The example that I used of my mom. So those things, that thought now takes place in my mind. It takes root in my mind. And then I now start to water it, and that thought directs my life all the time. And I'm trying to live up to this thought or trying to fight this thought. And those things direct our lives. And there's a lot of people that have gone through lots of traumatic things, horrible things. But then sometimes we sit there and we keep it here, and it will just continue to run our lives. And we don't realize the impact that it actually has.
Yeah.
It impacts your relationships. It impacts your kids, because your kids, they mimic what it is that you do.
Yes.
And you think you are not maybe broken, but your brokenness shows up in different places. So yeah, so that's what we do. We do it in lots of different formats. We can do online courses. We can do in-person courses. We had this thing called Tea Time with Tina, where you just come, you chill, you have a cup of coffee, and we discuss things that is heart related, but allows you to know that everybody goes through something and they can overcome it if they put in the work.
That's true.
And it's hard work,
Yeah.
but if they put in the work, they can get there.
For sure. And I like what you're saying about growth mindset, because some people think when you graduate, then you reach that level.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you know everything.
Yes.
But we need to be learning constantly. I mean, I think it's a maturity thing, because when as you're getting older, you realize your parents didn't even know it all.
Yes.
Even though you respect them, they were figuring it out as they were going along. And it's the same in life. Like, we always need to be learning, and that's how we grow.
100%.
So I like that. I like growth mindset. And the pillars that you were speaking about.
Yes.
Which out of the 4 pillars do you think is the most important?
Oof. Honestly, for me, your mind, because for me, it starts there. When you can become aware of where you are at, you can make changes. T.D. Jakes says, God cannot change the things that you are not willing to confront. So if you're not willing to confront where you're at, your life is just going to stay the same. I'll give you another example. Oh, I like examples. No? Sorry, man. One of our pillars is communication and conflict resolution. Now, that sounds very boring. People are like, oh, that's for the workplace. Now, let's say you and I, we are friends, and we now have a disagreement. So I upset you. So there's a saying that goes around that says, I'm going to protect my peace. No? So what that usually means, or what that usually looks like, I'm protecting my peace, so I move myself away from
Not
you.
gonna deal.
Not gonna, no, you're not even worth it.
Yeah.
The problem with that is now, because I'm a Christian, so now us as Christians, we're at church, we're all protecting our peace. So now staan ek alleen met my peace, jy staan alleen met jou peace, and we're not talking to one another. Whereas if we just decided to have a conversation about the misunderstanding, we'd have realized this misunderstanding doesn't require me to protect my peace.
Yes.
Protecting my peace, for example, is if I was going out with a drug addict, which was my life, at some point you go like, okay, no, I need to now protect my peace and walk away. But we take this brush and we paint it over all areas, and you're like, there's just more division, man. So what happens when people communicate is, when you are listening to what I'm saying, there's a lot of noise happening here in the middle. So behind you listening, you may be tired, you may be hungry, you may be thinking about the next question that is coming, but you could also be listening to me with a low self-esteem background. You could be hearing a word that I say that triggered something to you that happened when you're 5. So now you respond with that, and now we have a misunderstanding, and now we're both protecting our peace.
Yeah.
So for me, so much so much more things can be resolved if we just know how to communicate and understand that the two people that is on both sides, there's a lot happening there. Message gets lost. Now you go, I go, and we move on with our lives.
And the perception with which that message is received,
Yes,
right? Because
yes.
I'm looking at it through my glasses.
100%.
The way I see things, or through the trauma, or through the
Yes.
hurt that I have,
Yes.
and I'm accepting that message. But actually, it's not what you were
No.
sending.
Not at all.
I love it.
And they say your perception creates your reality.
For sure.
And most of the time, your perception is not correct.
That's true.
Yeah. Sorry.
Love
Praat
that.
veel lank, né?
I told you she has she just gets me involved and excited. I just want to go to the messages. So Gabby, my friend Gabby, thank you. She's from Vienna. She's dialing in from Vienna.
Well, hello.
Hello. She's the reason why I started my YouTube channel.
Oh, lovely.
She kept me accountable.
Thank you, Gabby.
She says, OMG, yes, everybody wants the freckles, for sure. That's true. It's natural. And we have Ubenice in the house. Hello,
Hi,
Ubenice. And Debbie, your mom says, Sophia Ella is loving it, watching with Daddy.
Oh. Hello, Sophie.
We like the examples. Gabby says, protecting my peace. That's good. They like your examples. And yes, there's some networking happening here, and they're loving the vibe. Nicole Kluti is saying, hello, ladies, well done, loving it. Just trying to get through. Hello, BBC peeps. Hello, all the BBC peeps. Thank you for joining in. And then Bonita saying, wise words, Tina, loving it. Okay.
Mr. Olek.
Right. So, what is your why? So, when you think about, I'll just use an example of something that I was thinking about when I was thinking about what is my purpose, what is my why, what is my reason.
Yes.
If you think about that, what gets you up in the morning, what keeps you going, what's your business, you're an entrepreneur, what keeps you motivated?
Honestly, I realized when I was like 34, 35, look, yeah, my life wasn't bad, but my life wasn't great. And I realized that I needed to do some work and heal my broken parts and go and forgive and say sorry to whomever and all. And I say it like it was easy. It was a journey. And then I realized, because if you saw me, you saw me as a picture of everything was perfect. I promise you, I was very good. Very good. Meanwhile, and the Oscar goes too. Meanwhile, in the background, I was juggling a gazillion broken pieces. And then I just got tired. And then I realized I'm not the only person in the world that is broken, man. And I was like, if I can find healing, if God can heal me, why can't I then help other people, man? So I used to facilitate since I was 25. I was a young lass at the age of 25. But the problem for me was that what I was facilitating, it was very academic, or it was very banking specific. And the thing that gets my blood boiling is when I can help you realize that your soul needs healing, man. So my why, even when it gets hard, even when it gets tough, I remember, like, look, man, God gave me this desire, this purpose, this burning. I can't think of doing anything else with my life. And I always think, I don't want to be selfish, man, because if he can heal me, why don't I tell you what he done for me, and you can also be healed and then walk in whatever it is you're supposed to be walking in. So that's my why. And honestly, and it's not because she's listening, but my kids, I want to show them that, you know what, how we get raised, and I don't blame any parents or the generation before, it just was what it was. So we get taught, you go to school, you finish school, you get good grades, and then you get a job. Or you go and study something, and you get a job. So I don't regret studying. But I want to teach my kids that purpose overrides everything else, man. So you don't have to follow that direct path and then decide I'm going to do my purpose. So my true why is, at the end of all of this, that my legacy that I leave for my kids is that they saw a mommy pursue her dreams and pursue her passion and help change the world just a little bit.
Absolutely. Because that will encourage them to then
100%.
be their personal best and to do whatever they think or imagine.
Yes.
because we don't want to restrict the next generation.
No,
in any
no,
way.
no, no.
I love that. I love that.
There's a question for you, Cindy.
Oh, there's a question for me. There is firstly, Letterland Aaron says, "Good evening, ladies. Good evening." And Kennethia says, "Cindy, what is your why?" Oh, wow. So for me, my why, I only discovered just in COVID, actually. I was going through a period where I was doing my 9 to 5, but I said to a friend, when you do something but you don't like what you're doing, but you're forced to do it.
Yes.
And I didn't want to live like that anymore. So I decided, Miss Jackson, that I actually wanted to do something that is going to make me want to do it. So dressing up and putting on makeup and taking photos is something that I enjoy doing. I love dancing. I love sharing my passion and also helping others because, like you were saying, you're not the only person that's going through stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody's going through things in their lives, but sometimes we're too shy to speak about it.
Mm.
And by hearing someone else went through it, it helps the next person feel okay and that they can be vulnerable in their real state. And so my mission with my vlog and with my purpose is to help somebody else, even if it's one person.
100%.
Just one person, then I feel that that is my contribution to make the world a better place. So thank you for that question. Catherine Barron says, "Hello, beautiful ladies. Love what you are doing, Tina." I agree. Thank you, Catherine. Inspiration from Ingo. Hello, ladies. Thank you, Ingo, for joining us. You just
From
finished your
Canada.
live from Canada. Samantha Adams is here. She says, "This is so awesome, ladies. Enjoying it to the max. Amaze balls. Love it." We are all human. That's right, Ingo. Yes. Exactly. We are all so human. And we want to pretend that we're not. I don't know whoever told us we need to be something different.
It's exhausting.
Yeah. So I'm just aware of the time, and I know that we missed out on some time. But I would like to know if you could have dinner with any 3 people that has inspired you, whether they dead or alive. They're just coming for the dinner, but they're alive. Who would that 3 people be? Who has really touched your life?
Okay, so the first one, I'm so glad you sent me these questions all the time because I had to think about this one. But the first one for me, honestly, is Joyce Meyer. She is a preacher, teacher. She's an author. But the thing for me that I love about Joyce Meyer is that her beginning of her story was just horrible. The stuff that she went through with her father abusing her and all of those things. And then she still goes and turns that around and she becomes like this world changer, man.
Yeah.
But the thing that really gets me, and I know this might sound silly, but I like the practicality of how she tells us to be Christians, man. Because sometimes us as Christian people, we get lost sometimes in the big things, or we get lost in God shows up in these big moments, which he does. We forget about our character along the way. She always uses this example. She's in the shop, and I do this now. It's like I can't not hear her voice. And she knows she must go put the trolley back in the same place. And she's like, even if it's raining, she will go and fetch the trolley and put it back.
Okay.
So that might sound silly, but for me, it's the little things that sometimes us as Christians forget. So I have learned so much about Joyce Meyer, just about the everyday, normal things that we forget. So that's the first one.
Awesome. Okay.
And the second one is honestly, TD Jakes is like my number one. TD Jakes inspires me with his wisdom. So my thing that I do is I communicate. And when I look at TD Jakes and I watch the one particular interview that he does with Stephen Furtick about a book that he wrote called Soul. And it's like Stephen Furtick could throw out any question. And then out of his mouth is just like, what?
Did you just come up with that?
Yes. So I absolutely admire TD Jakes. My dream actually is to share a stage with him. So TD, if you're listening, holler. So honestly, he inspires me to become a better and a more effective communicator.
Okay.
And then last one, and I know this might sound cheesy, but it truly is my husband, Tina Cupido, who inspires me because he shows me how to be calm. I'm not calm because by beside. So he shows me that's very busy for the offshore people.
Yes.
Bisach is busy. So he shows me how to be calm, chilled. He shows me what forgiveness looks like. He shows me what a father looks like. Not that my father didn't show me what a father looks like, but he just, everything about him just oozes what a Christian needs to be. So those are my 3 people. And I didn't just say that because he's sitting here. I wrote it down.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So that would be an interesting meal. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. I just want to go to the questions or the comments. Love the answer and love witnessing you living your purpose. Leckachies, that's from Kenneth Jackson Williams. And then Ingo says, yes, Joyce teaches in a very practical way, helping us show up as believers. And she also says, love TD as well.
Oh, love him.
And then Charlene says, away, Craig. And your mom-in-law says, you go, Craig. Awesome. And then Kenny says, of course, you said, Craig, die as your man.
My man. I'm watching you.
One question. Okay. And then I'm just going to wrap it up.
Yes.
Our session, and it's already been awesome.
It flew by.
It did.
Sorry.
Okay. What is walking in purpose? If you had to describe it to anybody that's watching this video, what does walking in purpose mean to you?
I thought about this and I want to read it like I wrote it. It says, walking in purpose to me is walking in the image of God in whatever area we find ourselves in. So what happens is a lot of times we're chasing this purpose, we're chasing the end result. And we always want to be the famous person on the stage, or we want to be the best singer, or if our name is out there in lights, then that equates to purpose nowadays. And I generalize. So a lot of times we forget about who you must be in order to have this famous stage that you possess. So if I think about purpose, I think about God, Jesus, when he walked the earth, he walked in humility, he walked in love, he walked in faithfulness, all the fruits of the Spirit that you have in the Bible. And I thought, purpose to me, so whether I'm the best singer on the stage or whether my purpose is to clean the streets, purpose to me is portraying the image of God wherever I might find myself. So when we can pursue that, the way we do it will happen, man.
Yes.
Now, don't misunderstand me. I know that there's a thing that is naturally inside of you that only you can do and that I can do or whoever's listening can do. But if we are not portraying this image of God where we're going, then I sometimes want to ask, what's the point? That is for me. That's for me. So yeah, that's what I see as purpose. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes, you definitely do. You have answered my question. It makes me think of a saying that I heard once, where this person was saying character.
Yes.
Character is what you are in the dark.
Yeah.
Not for everybody to see. When we're driving in the traffic and somebody's irritating us or driving on our tail, and we want to do things that we shouldn't be doing as Christians, that is when we're showing character.
Yeah.
And walking in your purpose is being authentic to the purpose that God has given you
100%.
as well. Because it's so different. Your purpose and my purpose is completely different.
Yes.
There was a time where I was going through a period of comparing myself, I want to be like her. She's so intelligent, or she's so organized, or she has a way of doing things, and I used to do that all the time. But what I realized is that our purpose is so personal, and we each have one. It's just about finding it, and I think Juanita also speaks about it. When I went to a book launch, she spoke about we all have it. It's like burning in our stomach.
Yes.
We have it. It's just like doing something about this that separates us from the rest. So
there was something. Sorry, Celia, I'm calling you Celia. Cecilia Les, Lady C. She used to work at a company. I think she was the receptionist. So now people might look at the receptionist and go like, receptionist. So we go like, oh, a receptionist can't change the world. But I remember her telling me a story once where so much people will come to her as the receptionist and she will go and pray for people, man.
Wow.
There's no stage. No one is calling a name out. No one is saying, oh, my word, Cecilia. No one is writing a review. No one is doing none of those things. But if you if you are trying to be the image of God wherever you are, that is purpose, man.
Yes.
So I just want people to remember that wherever you are in this point of your life is purpose until you get to the next stage and the next stage and the next stage.
True.
And the thing you said about comparing, oh my gosh, you talking, I'm talking. So the two of us can be like, no, we're going to battle one another because who talks better than us? And I mean, if God made you to speak and He made me to speak, why can't you have your own space to speak and me have my own space to speak? And then we come together and we speak
And we
together.
shine.
But we have this picture, oh no, God only called me to do this.
No, yeah.
Don't come and step on my toes.
Yes. This is my lane. What do you say?
Yeah.
Stay in your lane.
Oh,
Stay in your lane.
I
But
can't deal.
isn't it true that they say that the sun is there to shine on all of us? Because we all have there's room for us to grow, each of us to grow. It's so awesome. I love what you say. We could go on and on. Let's just see what the people are saying. So, Debbie Demis is saying Craig is my son. Craig, the fans are talking here. Ubenice is saying cute man. Catherine Barron is saying big ups to Craig, my colleague. Awesome. She also says so true what you are saying, Tina, about your purpose. Lady C is saying, Lach my klaar, you can call me silly. Bless your heart, my bookie. I love my frontline stage. Kenny is saying, love the energy. What a lekker live stream. And Gabby is saying, what's Tina's Instagram? Tina, hit us up your details. Where can people find you so that they know how to connect with you?
So personally, I'm Tina Cupido on Instagram. Facebook is Tina Natalie Cupido. I don't know why I put my second name in. My ek is Tina Natalie Cupido. But Cupido Consulting is just Cupido Consulting wherever you go. So that is on Facebook, on Instagram, LinkedIn, and then our website is also cupidoconsulting.co.za.
Awesome.
Yes. And that was done by Marina's Media. Sorry.
Awesome. Shout out.
Shameless plug.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.
Fun.
This was fun. I can't believe it. The time is over. Thank you, everybody, for joining. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the comments. And if anybody is watching this on the replay, please don't feel shy. Hit us a comment.
Yes.
We can hook you up. But thank you so much for joining us and have a good weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.